and welcome into the ReMix. I'm Brianna Pitts. We've got a packed show for you today. Let's kick things off with the ReMix's Restaurant Row.
Spring has begun. With the weather soon heating up, we're now in that perfect time frame to head out and eat in Boston. And joining us now are Basil and Louis Ferdura of the Daily Catch, which is one of the best spots in town for seafood and pasta. Guys, thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, we're happy to be here.
Thank you. Pleasure.
All right, so today we're making Lobster Fra Diavolo, which is my favorite dish that you guys make. Just tell our folks what that is.
So the Lobster Fra Diavolo is a signature dish of the Daily Catch. It's something that we've been known for years. It's a spicy seafood tomato sauce with lobster, clams, mussels, shrimp, calamari over pasta.
And it's all live here, by the way. So we're making this completely fresh here on set. And we'll get into some of the products in a moment. But let's start making the Lobster Fra Diavolo. Basil, what's the key to making this dish?
So obviously you need to have very fresh seafood, okay, live lobsters.
Which we have.
Local, the highest quality seafood available. And really it's just our signature sauce, which it's not just a regular red sauce. It's simmered for 24 hours with lobster bodies and crabs, and it's just got a ton of flavor already in it. So once that cooks with all this fresh seafood, that's what makes it unique. And
I can attest to the flavor. Again, I've had it several times. It's one of my favorite dishes in town. So, okay, so let's get it started. What's the first thing we have to do?
Sure, so we're gonna take our pan and we're gonna turn it on high heat, okay? I always cook on high because you wanna cook seafood very fast, right? Quick and fast, at least shellfish. So we're gonna get that going on high heat, okay? And as that pan's getting hot, we're gonna add some olive oil, okay? Extra virgin Italian olive oil. Then we're gonna add our garlic, just finely minced garlic. Okay, we use domestic garlic, California grown. Makes a big difference. So we're gonna get that in the pan. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna spice it up with some crushed red pepper. Okay?
And can you do it spicy and not spicy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the level of spice is really just determined by how much crushed pepper you put in.
Yep.
So I always put just a couple, even if I want it mild, because it's not going to give it too much spice, but it's going to give it some essence and flavor.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the spice, but I know it could be different for everybody.
So once we get that going, we're going to add our little neck clams. Okay, these take the longest to cook. So we're going to get that going in the pan. Just kind of stir it up.
I can smell it already.
I can smell it. It smells so good. Why do they take so long to cook?
Just because they're alive, they're very hardy,
Yep.
right? They're still in their shell. You know, they're feeling that heat, and they're just tightening up and just waiting to see what's going to happen next.
All right, so Basil, he's going to start preparing the lobster right now. All right, let's add in the lobster now into the Lobster Fra Diavolo.
So our garlic's gotten nice and fragrant, okay, got a little bit of color on it, so we're going to take our nice fresh lobster, and we're going to just kind of put that all into the pan, okay?
Oh, it smells so good. I wish everybody at home watching this could smell this happening right now. It smells so delicious.
All you have to do is take one step in the Daily Catch, and there you are. You can smell it.
Okay, so that's kind of coming together, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take our nice delicious white wine, and we're going to deglaze the pan.
And what's the purpose of the white wine there?
It's just to help deglaze that garlic that's starting to caramelize.
Yep.
Okay, and just give it a little bit of sweetness and a little more flavor. So after we deglaze, then we're gonna add our lobster-infused signature tomato sauce.
Oof.
Okay, so we're gonna take this and we're just gonna add a couple of scoops of this.
Oh, looks so good.
You are.
So as this is all simmering together, and those clams start to open and that lobster starts to cook, all the flavors and juices from that seafood are gonna go into this sauce, and that's what gives it its delicious flavor.
Oh, it looks so good.
So we're gonna add our tomato sauce, and then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of put a lid on it, and we're gonna let that just continue to cook.
All right, we are back here with Basil and Louis Ferdura of the Daily Catch. We are making Lobster Fra Diavolo. We've let this baby cook for about 5 minutes. Let's now open up the pan so you can see what it looks like. The smell is fantastic, Basil. This looks so good. All right, tell us what's next. And you're doing some work right now with it. What are you doing?
Yep, so we're just gonna go and make sure that the seafood is cooking and not overcooking, and making sure everybody's nice and happy in that pan. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead and add the rest of our seafood. So we're gonna add some nice Maine mussels, okay? gonna kind of sprinkle those in the pan. We don't want to overcrowd anything, okay? Then we're gonna go and add some domestic shrimp. Okay, we're gonna just kind of sprinkle that in there as well. And then we're gonna add the calamari. This is calamari that we process in-house on the Boston Fish Pier. It's local squid, 100% product of the USA, domestic product, chemical-free. It's really the best quality squid on the market.
All right, so just to recap the seafood that we have in there right now. So we have the lobster, obviously, which you picked up.
Correct.
We have the clams.
Correct.
We have the mussels.
Correct.
We have the shrimp, and now we have the calamari.
That is correct. So now that all our seafood is in the pan, we're gonna go ahead and cover it back up to let the rest of that shellfish just continue to cook and make that sauce get delicious.
I want to ask about your parents again, Paul and Maria, and we got to give Maria a shout out as well, your guys' mother, because she was a part of the making of this restaurant. How proud are they of you guys that you have now taken on the family legacy and carried it on here to this very day?
I don't think they could be happier to see what we're doing now and the vision that we still have moving forward. And they're still both involved. They'll never, let us go on without their opinions. But no, I think they couldn't be happier with what we're doing today.
So yeah, looks like this is pretty much done at this point. We've already started cooking our pasta. We're gonna go ahead and pick that pasta up, and we're gonna go ahead and plate this dish.
And how do you know at this point it's done?
It's really just once all the seafood has become opaque, the lobster tail is curled, clams and mussels have opened, and the lobster is nice and bright red.
Now, we use some white wine for the dish itself. Would you guys suggest having white wine with a dish like this, or would you go red? What do you guys think?
You could go both ways. We like to specialize in Sicilian wines because that really pairs well with our cuisine. So a nice Sicilian wine like this Etna Bianco, or also some other reds from Sicily will pair beautifully with this.
And now Basil, he's got the pasta.
Yep, so we've got our nice linguine pasta, cooked nice and al dente, and our Lobster Fra Diavolo is fully cooked, and it's showtime. It's time to plate this dish up.
Ah, well.
So what we're gonna do is just shut it off, and we're gonna just go and just kind of strain our pasta out, okay? Usually I have a strainer, but on set here, you work with what you got.
We made it a little bit, the degree of difficulty a little higher for you.
I can cook this dish with my eyes closed.
There you go.
So, we've got our linguine into the lid of the dish that we were cooking. And then at this point, we're gonna go ahead and add some sauce.
Oh, that just looks great. Now, why the sauce first?
So that we can coat the pasta.
Okay.
Okay, so it doesn't stick together and be a big clump. So we're just gonna kind of coat that pasta with some of our sauce, make a nice mound, and then we're gonna go ahead and arrange this shellfish nice and organized. So start with the head of the lobster. We're gonna take these beautiful lobster claws. We're just gonna go ahead and arrange the tails now.
That's so neat the way you do this. Now, can I just ask while you're doing this, how did you come up with the order for how to do it?
It's just about making it look good.
Okay.
And it also has to be easy to eat.
Yep.
Right? Anybody can make things beautiful on a plate, but then it's not the easiest thing to eat. So not only does it have to look good, but it also has to essentially function good.
It looks
when
good.
You eat it.
Just to give you that affirmation, it looks delicious.
Thank you. So we've got our mussels and clams kind of arranged, okay, in a circle there. Then what we're gonna do is just kind of dump the rest of that goodness there. That's our nice spicy Fra Diavolo sauce with the shrimp, calamari, all kind of come together there. You gotta bang the pan. So then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go find that big nest of linguine. We're gonna just go and get that and kind of bring it up. Give it a couple of nice twists to show it off.
Yep, and that's just to make it look.
It's to show that there's linguine there, but
Okay.
it's also where you serve the pasta from.
Wow.
Instead of having to fish through this dish, so you've got your pile of linguine, all that beautiful seafood around it, in that spicy Fra Diavolo sauce. And then what we do next is we just kind of garnish it with some Italian parsley and just a little bit of Romano cheese just to give it a little contrast. And there you have it. You've got the Daily Catch world famous Lobster Fra Diavolo.
let's go ahead and
Mangiamo.
taste it.
Would you like me to serve you something?
Yes,
Or you want to go right out of the pan?
Whatever you
Right
think
out
is
of the
best.
pan.
Right out of the pan. Why
Luigi,
not?
get him a fork.
Let's do it. And this is how you would eat it at the restaurant too. It would be in a pan.
Absolutely. And a plate, Louis, if he needs it.
What a treat. What a treat. Delicious.
Just as you remember.
Just as I remember. Just as I remember. My wife is going to be so jealous that I got to do this today. I'm going to get a little bit of calamari.
That calamari going.
Yep. All right, we got Basil, Louis Fra from the Daily Catch. Thanks so much for being here, guys. I'm going to continue to work through this bite as I sign off here, but thank you so much. This is, again, Lobster Fra Diavolo from the Daily Catch.
Mangi calamari.
We got much more to come on the remix. It's a rainy weekend, so why not head to the movies? Next up, an interview with Natalie Dormer in her new film about a woman who changed the course of cancer treatment for children.
Regimens are simply not aggressive enough to handle such a sinister disease.
Well, she has been a part of some of the biggest TV shows over the past 2 decades, The Tudors and Game of Thrones. Now Natalie Dormer is in a new movie showcasing a woman who changed the world of cancer treatment. CBS News Boston digital host Joe Wiles spoke to Natalie about Audrey's children.
And Natalie, thank you so much for joining us. And it's so cool to talk about this project. And you star as Dr. Audrey Evans, the British pediatric oncologist who revolutionized treatment for neuroblastoma, also as the co-founder of the Ronald McDonald House in Philly. And I just first want to ask you, what drew you to play the role of Dr. Audrey Evans?
I mean, I couldn't believe that I didn't know who she was when I read the scripts. I couldn't believe she wasn't a household name on both sides of the pond. So I thought, this is crazy. If I can be a part of getting her story out there, I want to do that.
What are you most proud of as it's related to starring in this role and being able to tell the story that you just admitted you didn't know about before you dived into the project?
What am I most proud of?
Yes.
I mean, this was a passion project for so many of the people involved in it. And, you know, Julia Fisher-Farbman, our writer-producer, you know, it was like 5-6 years to get to that place where you're standing there on set. And she was like Audrey's honorary goddaughter. She was a family friend. She had known her all her life. Watched this amazing woman. And, you know, and it rippled from there. We were all embraced by the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia community, the CHOP community, the Ronald McDonald House Charities community, came in, talked to everyone, people that knew Audrey and Dan, like, you know, elements even from the Eagles, from Jimmy Murray's son, who, you know, the general manager of the Eagles at the time, who co-founded the Ronald McDonald Houses with Audrey. You know, there was all these elements of Philadelphia and just wanting to tell the tale out of sheer pride. And as a Brit, even though you guys can claim her, even though you guys can claim her, she was very much, very at home in Philadelphia by the end of her life. It was her home. But even as a Brit, I feel a little bit of pride for her as well. So, it was just an incredible experience in that way. It felt like one big family without being, too soft.
How did you study for this role?
I watched her, whatever footage there was of her. I listened to her, whatever recordings of her voice I could get my hands on. I listened to her. I watched her interviews. There's a great 10-minute interview on YouTube, Julia's Modern Hero, if people want to know about the woman herself. What a wonderful 10-minute interview on YouTube you can watch to really just encapsulates her journey. And I spoke to all the people that knew her. I spoke to the lead consultant oncologists now who had been residents under her, oh my God, the Audrey Evans at the time, and learned about the way she talked, the way she stood, the way she was with the children, picked up all those idiosyncratic bits. She never wore a white coat around the kids. She knew that the white coat scared the children. So she took it off. And I have spoken to adults who were Audrey's children, were literally children that had cancer that she saved. I've had wonderful conversations with some of the adults that can designate themselves Audrey's children and hear firsthand about their experience and interaction with Dr. Audrey, as they called her. So I was just I was given so much. I was given so much to immerse myself in.
And among those stories that you heard from the people that she worked with, what's one that maybe stands out the most to you?
Well, the rabbit, the opening of the film, you see her striding down the corridor with a child going through treatment, holding a cage with a rabbit. And, and you're just like, I'm in. Who is this woman? We're walking down a hospital corridor with a rabbit. What is a rabbit doing in a sterile hospital situation? And, that is a true story, that there was one particular child who was really, really fearful of the scanning machine. And Audrey brought in a rabbit. And this child bonded with the rabbit, and she put the rabbit on the scanner first. And I think in real life it was radiology, and actually it was a radiology machine. And she was like, "Look, Bunny goes first. Bunny's okay. And now it's your turn." And and she built a massive aviary of finches in the foyer to cheer people up, which we referenced at the end of the film as well. Just to all the animal stuff, to just bring light, to bring humor, to bring joy, to bring life into this really, really difficult, painful environment of a children's cancer ward. All those little stories are so beautiful, and they're for the most part they're based in reality.
And that's one of the coolest parts of it. And you do a great job portraying her in this film. Natalie, thank you so much for the time to talk about playing Dr. Audrey Evans. And I can't wait for the rest of the folks to be able to have a chance to see it.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Joe.
Well, still to come, a new place to eat at one of the most popular food spots in Boston. We will introduce you to Cumin Indian Eats coming up next on the ReMix. it is one of the best places to catch all kinds of food in Boston, High Street Place Food Hall, of course. And now we welcome today Giovanni Perloni Medina from Cumin Indian Eats, now open at High Street Place. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
It smells lovely in here. Start by telling us about Cumin and what guests can expect when they go.
So Cumin was born from the Cumin Club. The Cumin Club is a brand that we created to make Indian food accessible to everybody throughout the United States, UK, Canada, etc. Our brand basically has 45 different sauces that you can get at home.
Wow.
And from there, we decided to create a restaurant that portrays exactly what we're trying to do in our mission in the meal kit company to make it into a restaurant for everybody.
So at the food hall, there's all sorts of things on the menu. One of the signature dishes is a rice bowl. We're going to be assembling one today with all of the ingredients that you see here. So tell me a little bit about each ingredient and then show me how to make the bowl.
Absolutely. So our main most popular dish is our rice bowl, like you said, and that comes with jeera rice. Jeera rice is cumin toasted seeds in rice seasoned, and we top that off with a protein of your choice and then whatever sauce you would like as well, and you get 3 toppings and a garnish of whatever you want. That way you can make Indian food customizable to what you personally like.
Okay, let's make it. Let's assemble it together. I want to see how you kind of do it. Okay, so you said this is a cumin flavored rice.
That is correct.
Right? Okay.
So this is the jeera rice, which we're gonna make sure that we get some good hearty scoops of it right here into our bowl.
I love a rice bowl. You always feel so full and satisfied after one.
Absolutely. And this is a perfect portion for one person.
Okay.
That's the way that we wanted to make sure.
So you don't have to share it with anyone.
You don't have to. Not at all. And then we're going to do cauliflower, which is one of our most popular ingredients as to add.
So healthy.
For protein and absolutely healthy. This bowl actually is very good because it's vegan.
Okay.
So we do have vegan options. We have vegetarian options. Obviously, Indian food is very inspired in food that is essentially vegetarian.
Yeah.
And we sort of like wanted to highlight that. As you can see, we pour our sauce right on top of the protein to make sure that everything, all the flavors are captured.
And you're generous with the sauce.
Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely. So you have around 9 ounces of rice, around 8 ounces of protein and sauce, and then, like I mentioned, you get whatever topping you want. Here we have the beautiful cucumber salad, which we're going to add right there on a little side, and we want to make sure that all the bowls always look very beautiful. And then we have tamarind onions as well, the second most popular item.
Oh, wow.
And then we're gonna top it off with a little bit of cilantro to make it all beautiful.
My goodness, it's so colorful and pretty. Looks like spring in a bowl. Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna try a bite of this.
Absolutely.
And while I do that, we wanna showcase some other items. You have an Indian style pizza.
Our creation and what we are really proud of is that we are doing not only Indian, but we're also bringing it to what the American style of cooking is as well. So we wanted to make something that highlights that, and we invented something called the nanza.
This is so good.
The nanza is exactly what you expect out of the name. It's a pizza on a naan.
Okay. So okay. Yes.
we have our butter sauce, which is what typically you would get in butter chicken. We're gonna basically grab our butter sauce and we're gonna put it on top of our pizza, just like that. And we're gonna spread it around just like a regular pizza.
Wow.
But obviously this has a lot of Indian flavors and a lot of displayed Indian cuisine.
How does
highlights.
this taste different from a regular sauce that you would put on top of a pizza? It's called butter sauce. Does it taste buttery?
It's very buttery.
Okay.
It's very buttery, and it also has a lot of seasoning that you would typically not, like asofetida, that you would typically not get in Indian sauces, right?
Is that some mozzarella?
This is mozzarella and provolone, which want to make sure that you guys can see it. Mm-hmm. We're going to make sure that it's very, very, very full. And then we also top that off with these proteins as well. From there, we're gonna show you guys. And then we're gonna put that in there. We're gonna do a little bit of magic.
Yep.
And
we have a completed pizza.
Pizza.
I love it. TV
And
magic.
What's really cool that and makes it different is that this pizza, you can top it off with the toppings as well. So it's exactly how you would do the bowl,
Oh, awesome.
but on a pizza format. So
I love
in this
that.
case, we're just gonna get some cucumber in there because we want to make it all pretty and tasty and have that freshness behind it as well. After that, we're gonna top it off with some cilantro.
Little cilantro. Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. I love all of the colors.
Thank you, thank you.
It's so fun. So from rice bowls to pizza, for anyone looking for a fun beverage, you were just talking to me about
The
this
super
beautiful
famous mango lassi. So mango lassi is a very typical drink in India. We have our own recipe that was made by one of our general managers, and it's become extremely popular. So we wanted to highlight here today as well.
And you said that this is a good to counteract. If you're eating some spicy Indian food, this has some yogurt in it, so it will kind of even things out.
Absolutely. So basically, that is like the die down heat whenever your tongue is doing a little burning. But very, very good, very tasty.
Well, Gio, thank you so much for coming in, for showing us all of this delicious food. This is so yummy. Please go check out Cumin Indian Eats over at High Street Place. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having us.
An exciting weekend in Foxborough. Coming up, an athlete from the AMA Supercross Championship stops by the studio and brings a friend. It's a big weekend in Foxborough for sports fans. The Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship is happening at Gillette, and one of the stars of the series, Florida's Justin Starling, stopped by the WBZ studios to show off his bike and chat about what this event has to offer for fans.
You can actually interact with all the fans. Not many sports and stuff can do that. We are right there with everyone signing autographs. Some people can come sit on. You can come sit on this bike sometimes. You know, it's just cool. We're that much with the fans the whole time. We try to interact as much as we can. And I love Fan Fest. It's probably one of my favorite parts of the day.
Yeah.
All tickets can be purchased at supercrosslive.com. Thank you for joining us on the ReMix. We'll be back next week for more lifestyle, community, and entertainment news.